want to talk about Donald Trump. The president has released his agenda for the next 4 years. And I don't know if you saw this. Tim Pool said, that's it. His agenda has pushed me over the edge.
Oh.
Looks like he... Of course, he doesn't say, I'm going to be voting for Trump. It says, it looks like I will be voting for Trump. So it's like, it's just as close as you can get before saying you're going to vote for him.
I think it was 95%
like,
last week, so
like,
now maybe it must be 98 now.
No,
maybe
it's 99. Like I haven't watched the video yet, but he just posted it a couple hours ago, and it's basically Tim saying, you know, well, the agenda is good, so I can't wait to vote. That's the thing. They're like, oh, don't get complacent. You know, don't think that you're going to win because then you're not going to win. It's like, no. They don't understand. Everyone who's voting for Trump can't wait to vote for Trump, including myself. I can't wait. I can't wait to hit that button and be like, yes, we're saving America.
I'll be honest, my jury's out, man.
Really?
I don't know if I'm going to vote for Jesse Ventura or Donald Trump. It's one or the other.
Is he running for president?
I think he's the Green Party nominee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I know you like Jesse.
I do. I love him.
He's
anti-war. He's smart. I've seen a lot of people aren't necessarily in love with Jesse for their own reasons.
Okay.
But I've always liked the guy.
That's fine.
I mean, when he was a WWE wrestler, I didn't like him that much. When he was Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
He was all right.
I was actually a big Rock fan. The Rock. Like that was
The Rock's awesome.
Yeah,
Did you used to watch Raw?
I did. Yeah. I was heavy into wrestling. That's right. I used to watch wrestling a lot. And the People's Elbow, man, dude, he was
he's still phenomenal.
Yeah,
what a performer.
He's great. I love The Rock. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So look, this is the beginning. All right, jobs. All right, he's gonna create 10 million jobs. I'm just gonna read them all off, and we'll discuss as we read. He's gonna create 10 million jobs in 10 months. I believe he can do it. He's gonna create 1 million new small businesses. He's already put many funds towards minority-owned businesses. And I mean, we got to bring the small businesses back. COVID has been rough for small businesses. We got to bring it back. Cut taxes to boost take-home pay and keep jobs in America. More jobs here. I love it. Enact fair trade deals that protect American jobs. Made in America tax credit. Yes, I love that. Help people make products in America and give them tax credits for it. I love that. Make it easier for them to run a business here. Expand opportunity zones. Continue deregulatory agenda for energy independence. You know, the whole energy thing, I feel, is a whole different conversation we could talk about. Because as we move into the future, you know, I feel like a lot of people are like Greta, for example. Greta Thunberg. She just wants to end fossil fuels right now and then completely shift. And that's impossible. We cannot do that. We have a huge infrastructure with I'm just looking into the dam network where we get a lot of our electricity from. Like, that's crumbling, and we need to rebuild a lot of that. And it's almost to its peak. So energy is a really important deal that a lot of people don't understand as much.
We're on the brink of a molecular printing also, like 3D printing, and you'll be able to print oil, petroleum, and then burn it and then recapture the fumes. They're already getting really good at recapturing the fumes and condensing it back into water. There's a thing called blue crude, which is a type of diesel fuel that produces no waste. And so, I mean, you can print the oil, burn it, combust it, reuse the carbon emissions, the carbon dioxide, turn it back into graphene. I mean, you can. So it's really, carbon is not a horrible form of fuel as long as you use it right.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So let's just keep moving. He's eradicating COVID-19. Yes, I mean, who doesn't want this, right? Develop a vaccine by the end of 2020. This is a little. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if we need it either. I think we can beat this disease. Is not that bad as far as what we're seeing now, as far as the numbers that are coming out and the actual death toll. Like, the real death toll that is specifically from COVID-19 is significantly different from the total death toll of people that have died from COVID-19, because they were marking anyone that had COVID death as a COVID death, and that's a motorcycle accident in Florida. If you died from any reason at all in Illinois, it was a COVID death. Like, that. This is straight from the governor's office. So, like, we're finding out that the numbers have all been fluffed. It's crazy.
I think there was a day last week where I saw some graphic where there was like 0 deaths in New York State. I think there were like 9 deaths in New York City maybe. And it was in one day there were like 30 deaths.
Yeah, there was 0 deaths the other day. It was just like, what are we doing?
That doesn't happen when it's a global pandemic.
No, it doesn't. And then actually we've compared to countries that didn't lock down at all versus the countries that locked down like crazy and went into masks. The ones that locked down the most have a higher death rate per capita
because they're all stuffed in there.
Yeah, and they're not out getting sunshine, getting vitamin D. They're not out in an environment. We have viruses and bacteria on us constantly. Right now, you and I, we are being bombarded with viruses and bacteria just sitting here.
And other pathogens too, protozoa.
Every single human being out there is like that. So the more we have, contact with this stuff, the more that our bodies will build up resistances to it. So we must keep our bodies able to combat this stuff. So developing a vaccine, sure, it looks good on paper. I don't know if I really like that, but I do love the next one. Return to normal in 2021. Man, would I love normal. Well,
let's go.
I mean, who doesn't want that? I mean, okay. Let's see. Make all critical medicines and supplies for healthcare workers in the United States. Yes. Let's stop relying on a country that is all the way across the globe that, we have to ship, over with, the whole shipping lane thing. We don't talk about how much shipping stuff is detrimental as far as the carbon emissions.
Oh, right.
Those ships just churn that stuff out. I don't have any graphs. I'm just going off the top of my head. But if we can make stuff ourselves, let's do it. Why don't we do that? You know? So I love this. Refill stockpiles and prepare for future pandemics. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Say a pandemic actually does happen that that has an extremely high death rate, unlike COVID-19, which seems to have an extremely low death rate. I mean, I'd like to be prepared for it. And then this goes in. It's ending their reliance on China. Bring back 1 million manufacturing jobs from China. Yes. Tax credits for companies that bring back jobs from China. Yes. Allow 100% expensing deductions for essential industries like pharmaceuticals and robotics who bring back their manufacturing to the United States. Huge. Dude,
localized manufacturing is going to be a 21st century revolution.
80% of our imports come from China. Right now, 80%. I don't know if you know that, but that's a lot.
Jeez.
That's a lot. All right. No federal contracts for companies who outsource to China.
Wow.
Thank you. Yes, you don't get help if you're going to go somewhere else. All right.
That's big.
It is huge.
What a change from 30 years ago.
Right? Exactly. Hold China fully accountable for allowing the virus to spread around the world. I'm not sure how we can do that. Like, what does that mean? That right there. I saw that and I was like, I mean, that could, like, what does it mean? Was it an accident? Was it malicious? I don't think it was malicious. They clearly lied. They could have handled it better.
Yeah.
They could have been like, we've got an outbreak. Everybody, we got an outbreak. Let's halt it.
I used to think, the communist government of China. Rather than calling it China, you call it the Communist Occupational Government of China. My friend COGOC, Communist Occupational Government.
Okay.
And I used to think, I don't want to bad talk them because I don't want to lose my chance of ever visiting China. And then I realized, you know what? If I lived my life like that and never bad talked them, one day I'd be I'd be ready to go to China and they'd look up my past and they'd find one thing and they wouldn't let me in. But if I do talk bad about them and there's a revolution in China and we put a democratic government in, then I'll be allowed to go to China.
That's a good point. I mean, and what could be even worse is you go to China and they don't let you leave.
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, that's the kind of environment that's over there,
Crazy one-party government system.
It's insane. I actually found a map of China from 150 years ago, and it is really interesting to see how much smaller it is. You see Tibet, you see the Xinjiang province, I think I said it right, which is where the Uyghur camps are.
Yeah, the Northwest.
Yeah, so it's significantly different, and man, it is a crazy place. So let's stay on target here, though. Now we got healthcare. They're going to cut prescription drug prices, which is amazing. He already did that executive order saying that if we can get drugs cheaper in Mexico, you're not allowed to sell it for an upcharged price. You got to sell it for the same amount, and that's insanely awesome. Put patients and doctors back in charge of our healthcare system. Amazing.
Patients. That's nice.
Yeah, it's like, well, why is the government doing it anyway?
I know.
It should be the doctors.
The FDA, I think, is like a big money system. There's a lot of money in that.
Yeah, that's true. Getting people, well,
right, it should be the doctors.
But the reason why it's such a money thing is because of the prescription drug prices.
What do you think about?
They're upcharging us like crazy.
So in regards to socializing medicine, I think right now it's kind of a profit-based, incentive-based thing. Like if a hospital gets more patients, they get paid more, and then the doctors get paid more. Whereas like with the fire department, they don't get paid more if there's more fires. They get paid the same no matter what.
Yeah.
So so there's no incentive for the firemen to go out and start fires to make more money. Like,
which that would suck.
Yeah. So if a doctor is getting paid more or a hospital because there's more patients, there's an incentive to create more sick people.
That's true.
So why would we? I would like to see it change to just pay them a set rate regardless, and then they're going to be out there trying to keep people healthy.
You nailed it. Why? I want people to be healthy. I want people to live healthy lives. Well, guess who doesn't profit if everyone just suddenly becomes healthy? The drug companies. That's why when Trump was announcing that executive order, he went to Whirlpool and he was like, I'm making a lot of people upset. I got some really rich enemies that are not going to like what I'm doing. And then, of course, it's boom. He made it so they can't price gouge Americans. People, the whole insurance system that you pay the insurance ups it. Like I went to the dentist, I don't know, right before COVID, right? And I didn't have dental care, or I did have dental care, but it was running out, whatever. And one day I got a cleaning, and then I had to come back next week for something different, and my insurance lapsed.
Oh.
Right? But they have a price for insurance, and it's this much, right? And then they have a price for what you pay without insurance, and it is significantly higher, like 3 times the amount.
Jeez.
So if you don't have insurance, you're paying 3 times the amount of what the insurance companies are paying. So it's like, how does that make any sense? So if you don't have insurance, you are paying, obviously if you have insurance, you're paying even less because you pay for the insurance, and the insurance pays an X amount that you don't even have to pay. So if you don't have insurance, you don't have to pay. You don't pay that much. You pay 3 times the amount. And this whole system is just designed to just gouge as much money as possible. And then you think that's just dental. Then you got all the different pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies that are making drugs for all the how many different diseases are out there. I don't even know. It's insane.
Yeah, right.
So this whole healthcare thing that Trump is doing is incredible. He's really flipping the switch on the way that it's been worked on. And I don't know who could be upset about that. It is amazing that he's redoing this whole pharmaceutical thing.
I want you guys to smash the like button.
Yes.
For redoing the pharmaceutical thing.
Let's get this.
Smash it.
Hold on, let's get this over here.
Let's double up. Smash.
I know. I'm gonna smash this like button. Gosh, that's good. Thank you, Mr. President. This is amazing. That's what we need. It's going to help people save money. It's going to help people get healthier. They don't have to stress to go to the doctor. Most people would rather not go to the doctor because they know it's expensive. They don't want to risk it. They're like, I can't even afford it. I'd rather not even go because they're going to price gouge me.
Yeah, I've been living like that for like a decade. I avoided at all costs just because of the cost.
Boom.
It's
exactly.
Crazy.
It's crazy. All right, so let's keep it moving. It says lower healthcare insurance premiums. All right. So even now your health insurance bill will be lower. So I think premium is how much you have to pay until then they take over, right? Right. So that's great. End surprise billing. Now this one right here, this one I love this one. Cover all pre-existing conditions.
Great.
That's incredible.
This is great.
I know.
This is like Obamacare.
It's better.
Wow.
Protect Social Security and Medicare. Protect our veterans and provide world-class healthcare services.
I want to go back to that hidden cost thing. There was like 3 ago that you mentioned.
Okay.
Avoid hidden, because they'll like charge you $240.
And surprise billing.
Yeah, and surprise billing. They'll charge you $240 for like an O-ring, for like a glass of juice, for the cup that they give you. It's crazy cost.
Yeah, it's like, Why does that cup of OJ?
It's so sad.
Well, because it's not OJ. It's a vitamin C cocktail.
Oh, that's why it's
specifically designed
$4.
for your body to take the vitamin C in.
Formulated in a lab.
You could have just told me to go drink some OJ, and I would have been fine. And get some sunlight. Yeah, to take a walk maybe. So it's insane. All right, so let's keep it moving. This is awesome. Education provides school choice to every child in America. Every child. That's incredible.
Yeah. What is he? Okay. Did he specify what he means?
Not here. This is just the list of all the different things. But man, school choice, from what I know of, is you get to choose where your tax money goes, as far as the public school or the school that you give your send your child to, charter schools or any different sort of, even if you are teaching your kid yourself,
so that you keep the money. They will credit the parent if they homeschool the kid. This is key.
I don't know if that's exactly right. I'm still I kind of honestly I'd love to have Corey DeAngelis on the show.
You should. Yes.
I wasn't on the show when he came on the Timcast IRL show. I was, that was before. Well, we actually never had a guest with me on the show. Also, I was just kind of the stand-in. That's what I was supposed to be.
You were the guest.
I was the guest until there was actual guests, and it just turned into something different. So now they're going back to the guest thing. But Corey, if you'd like to be on my show, I'd love to talk school choice with you, so I could get to know it more. But as from what I've seen and what I understand of school choice, it's fantastic, because public schools shouldn't. If they're bad, they shouldn't be getting all the money from the government. They should be incentivized to do better. And I feel like school choice, if suddenly, the parents are like, no, your public school sucks, I'm going to send my kids to this other school because now I have the choice to do that, then those public schools are going to be like, oh man, we need to get good teachers.
Did you have public school? Did you go to public school?
I did go to public school. About you?
I did too. And it was like, we'd have like 30 kids in a class, and it would be, it was like, my experience was I would want to talk more and interact more, but I had to wait for the other 29 kids to get around to go in, and a lot of them didn't even want to be there, so they wouldn't raise their hand, they wouldn't need to look at the teacher, they wouldn't respond, and I'm like sitting, a lot of times I was just sitting in silence, like waiting. Like I could have been with a home on the internet, like just like I do now with Wikipedia, or like watching Great Courses Plus, or like studying about the Byzantine Empire, learning about calculus on like Khan Academy. I mean, I couldn't have in the 80s, but now you can do that. Kids that want to learn fast, you can learn at your own speed. And I would love to see parents get credited for that, to incentivize them to oversee.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So the next one is teach American exceptionalism. I don't really know what that is.
Yeah, that could go in either direction.
Yeah, I mean, that could, what pops in my head was the Presidential Fitness Award. You remember this?
Yeah.
Back in high school?
Oh, yeah. You had to run.
I'm pretty sure they got rid of it.
Pull-ups you could do.
Yeah, and if you hit a certain amount, you've achieved the Presidential Fitness Award. You're fit. Well, they got rid of that because, it was like body shaming, I guess, maybe, or it's like being physically fit is no longer something to want and strive for some reason. I don't know why, because you're healthier, not like looking fit, physically fit. You're actually healthy if you're physically fit. And maybe that's what that is. I don't know. I can't really go for it, though. But then we got drain the swamp. Pass congressional term limits.
Oh, yeah. This is why Tim went 99%.
This guy wants to institute congressional term limits.
Good. And Supreme Court limits, but let's one step at a time.
President Trump, I already was going to vote for you. I was already on the Trump train. I got my Trumpy bear here.
Hey,
that someone sent to me. He's currently rocking my
He's looking great
my
again.
MAGA beanie. He's looking great again, isn't he? Yeah, he's cool. I got to come up with a name for him because, I guess it's just Trumpy Bear, but spin the Trumpy Bear. I see you, Mikey. No, he's chilling, though. I can't spin
we'll
him.
have to get him on a Lazy Susan.
Lazy Susan. Anyway, all right. So passing congressional term limits, just amazing. I love it. And bureaucratic government bullying of U.S. citizens and small businesses. Well, that sounds wonderful. Who wouldn't want to get on that? expose Washington's money trail and delegate powers back to people and the states. Amazing.
Wow.
Less government?
That's big time. The money trail is really the trail to follow.
Drain the globalist swamp by taking on international organizations that hurt American citizens. Man, he is just speaking my language.
I got goosebumps.
I could look. I could see the smile on your face.
Oh, dude.
We started this by you saying, "Well, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with them."
You know, this country's supposed to be a bastion of freedom.
Yes, it is.
In this day and age, it's a financial revolution that needs to occur.
Well, that's a whole nother subject, but
wow.
I mean, he's got it on the list, man.
It's amazing.
So this is amazing here. So then the next is defend our police. Fully fund and hire more police and law enforcement officers. Wonderful. I 100% with this. Increase criminal penalties for assaults on law enforcement officers. Yeah, make it so that people don't want to do that because it's not worth it, because you shouldn't be assaulting police officers. If you are in a place and you assault a police officer, that clearly you were not in the right mind. You know, I just don't understand why that's the go-to for many people. Prosecute drive-by shootings as act of domestic terrorism. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you think about...
Sure, it does instill terror.
It absolutely does.
Wow.
People are afraid to walk down the street. And Chicago, there's some crazy places there. The next is end cashless bail and keep dangerous criminals locked up until trial. I mean, it feels like we've gotten the proof that doesn't work. I mean, look at Chicago or look at New York City. All right, they got rid of cashless bail. These people go in, they get arrested for stuff, they walk right out the door, and they continue. I mean, homicides up over 200%, over 300% actually. I'm not sure exactly the math, but it's insane how much the violence has spiked because of the defund the police movement. So now, I mean, we end cashless bail and keeping these dangerous criminals locked up. I mean, I like it. I want it to end.
Cash bail weirds me out. It weirds me out that rich people can buy their way out of jail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't a need for reform on many different facets of our government, So but the cashless bail is people going in and out. It's when they're caught and they are arrested and they know that they're criminals and you get arrested. If you get right out right away, I don't know. There's
what's the harm in going back if you're going to get out right away?
And it says, keep dangerous criminals locked up, and it's like dangerous criminals. He already did the First Step Act, which we talked about on the Trump deep dive, and that is changing the parameters of what a dangerous criminal is to a non-violent criminal, and releasing, starting to reform the whole justice system. So that's something that Trump has been working on. So if you don't know much about that, you can check out the Donald Trump deep dive. Later on, we talk about in policies. So, but I just want to keep it moving a little bit here. End illegal immigration and protect American workers. Block illegal immigration from becoming eligible for taxpayer-funded welfare, health care, and free college tuition. I mean, I don't want my taxes to pay for someone's health care anyway. American citizens. Because I'm healthy. I'd like to be healthy. I work out. I like to be fit. So if someone eats a bunch of garbage food, never works out, becomes really fat, really unhealthy, and, I'm talking like morbidly obese, and they suddenly now all these diseases spike up and they're on welfare, that's my tax dollars going to help them when they could have helped themselves and didn't.
Yeah, chronic. There's acute healthcare and chronic healthcare. Chronic is when it's like obesity, long-term.
Something you could have done.
Those I don't like paying for.
Yeah,
acute stuff like they fell down and break their leg. Yeah. I want to pay for.
Yeah, and actually that's something that Tim talks about. There can be a base level of specific things that are covered. Falling down and breaking your leg. That sucks. It could happen to anyone anytime. It's not something that you plan for. It's not something that you can help. Right? Or you chip a tooth and they do it back, So it's, this is the kind of stuff that, so again, I'm talking about American citizens already.
Right.
So now this is something that the Democrats are fighting for, to let all these systems go over to illegal immigrants who haven't even They've just climbed over the wall, and suddenly our tax dollars are going to them.
It's crazy that you can get Pepsi with food stamps, man. The unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
That you can buy sugar with food stamps.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, again, lots of stuff needs to be reformed. And, the list is long. Mandatory deportation for non-citizen gang members. Can't argue with that. Dismantle human trafficking networks. Nobody's talking about this.
It's huge.
He has put so much money into anti-human trafficking networks, against the trafficking networks. I can't believe no one's talking about this, and it's amazing. Donald Trump is doing a lot to fight against human trafficking, and I am just...
It's one of the most globally proliferate crimes syndicates.
Yeah.
It's like in India, I don't know if it's like 1 billion people are being trafficked around the world or something, but in India, it's horrible.
I don't know about 1 billion. That's a lot of people.
I know. It seems like an insane
like
amount.
An eighth of the world's population.
That's a ridiculous number, but human slavery is rampant, and
you're
finally
right.
Someone's bringing it to the mainstream.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's more slaves now than there was when America was founded.
Wow.
Like, people don't like to think about that or talk about it, but that is true. The slave trade still exists right now, and it's happening in our own country. And this man is fighting it. So this is one of the things that I'm just like, yes, dismantling the human trafficking networks is incredible. End sanctuary cities to restore our neighborhoods and protect our families. Prohibit American companies from replacing United States citizens with lower cost foreign workers. Yes, keep our jobs here. Let our people work those jobs. Stop bringing in. That's what they want. That's why they want the open borders, so they can let people in and then pay them nothing.
Yeah, I used to work at a restaurant in L.A. where they would hire a lot of illegal. I mean, they were the coolest people. But they would work for cheaper.
Well, they
were amazing chefs because they were bringing their foreign cuisine.
Right. Well, this is not a knock at those people as who they are.
Right. It's the system.
Yes, exactly. It's them. Like we want to bolster our country and show what it's like to have a solid country. And we got to have people getting these jobs that are being given away to these people that are just coming here, which I'm all for immigration. My family immigrated here. Donald Trump's family immigrated here, and it was legal. And if you do it properly through the proper channels, awesome. Welcome to the country.
Learn English. That's the key. If you know English, man, I think that should be like a hard stop. You got to know the language if you want to assimilate.
Okay.
Of any country. That's my personal.
Yeah. You got a point. Let's see here. Require new immigrants to be able to support themselves financially. Awesome. Yeah. Welcome to America. Welcome and let's to go to another country. You have to prove that you have a job. You have to prove that you can.
Yeah. You get a
be
visa,
stable.
and then you got to leave if you don't get a job, basically.
Yeah, you have to prove it. It's like, why don't we have that? Why don't we have like a nice solid system? So I like this. The next one is innovate for the future. Launch Space Force. Boom. I'm all stoked for that. Establish permanent manned presence on the moon. Awesome.
All right.
I know. Send the first manned mission to Mars. Like that.
Yes.
This is incredible. Like, this is the future. Build the world's greatest infrastructure infrastructure system, and then win the race to 5G. Establish a national high-speed wireless internet network.
Wow.
Continue to lead the world in access to the cleanest drinking water and cleanest air, and partner with other nations to clean up our planet's oceans. This is an incredible list.
Dude.
This list right here, I don't know anything that the Democrats want. I watched a lot of the DNC last week. It was embarrassing. All they talked about was Trump is bad. Now he drops this list of stuff that he wants to work. He's got Tim Pool voting for him. Tim Pool, the most famous fence sitter that I know, is voting for Donald Trump now, and that should tell you a lot about about the president. This is an incredible list of incredible things that I'm stoked. I already liked him.
Two things he didn't mention.
What's that?
Legalizing marijuana
Right.
and
Ending the war on drugs.
and ending the war in the Middle East. He didn't
But
mention
he's
anything
trying
about
to.
that. I know he wants
He's
to.
already working on that. This is his agenda for the next 4 years.
I guess you can always say so much.
He's already fighting to get our troops home.
Right.
That's what got Tim really leaning towards Donald Trump in the first place. He was like, well, he's trying to bring the troops home.
And Kennedy came out and said, "I'm going to dismantle the CIA." And then he mysteriously was assassinated shortly after that. And people were like, the CIA, you know, there's a big conspiracy that people, that it was nefarious, basically.
Yeah.
But that's because he came out and said it. You don't come out, some things you don't come out and announce.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about that, but it's
I want to do a conspiracy channel.
Dude,
someday.
Please start a conspiracy
That'd
channel.
be crazy.
This guy loves his conspiracies.
I'm open-minded.
You should absolutely do it. I really want you to start your own conspiracy channel. It'd be fun to watch you let loose on your conspiracies.
Right, and honesty does not mean you say everything you're thinking. That is for Donald Trump and for myself.
That's true.
That's a good rule of thumb. Like, it's not his job to come out and say everything he's going to do.
Let me ask you, now that you've listened to his plan, how do you feel now?
I almost, while you were talking about Tim, said that I was going to vote for him.
You almost said it out loud. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've got a mental block because I have so many friends that will go ape ballistic on me knowing that I vote for Donald Trump. Like, it's just like to cover my own I want to not vote. But you can't vote for, I mean, this rudderless Democratic parties, you can't vote for that.
The Democrats are a joke.
I voted for Jill Stein in 2016.
Oh, yeah?
Couldn't bring myself to vote for Trump or Clinton.
Well, that's all right. That's okay.
But this time
I'm voting.
I don't know.
I'm proudly voting for the president.
Trump or
I hope he
Jesse?
wins, and I'm rooting for him.